For almost 50 years, Flint, Michigan has been purchasing their water supply from Detroit, who treated their water supply properly by adding orthophosphate into their water. By adding orthophosphate into the water, this allowed the chemical to coat the pipes in order to prevent lead from entering into their water supply as the water flowed through the pipes. In 2014, Flint decided to make the switch from Detroit's water supply over to the Flint River in hopes to save money. However, Flint did not use any coercion control to help prevent the lead from flowing into their new water supply. As it turns out, the Flint River was found to have 8 times the amount of chloride, which is a chemical that is extremely corrosive to metals, than Detroit's water supply, and as a result, Flint's lead service lines that have been around for decades, which are used in many of the residents' homes, began to contaminate the water supply. At the end of January 2016, Governor Rick Snyder signed a bill in order to provide $28 million so that Flint can cope with the consequences the tainted water caused, along with fixing the damaged pipes and any health problems that resulted from drinking the water before the warning was released. Snyder states that we do not walk away if something doesn't go right. Let's stand up together as Michiganders to say mistakes were made, problems happened, we're going to solve them, we're going to fix them, and we're going to be stronger. However, no one thinks that $28 million will be enough to fix the problems. Snyder also stated that at least 45 Flint children had tested with high levels of lead in their blood, while acknowledging many more likely suffered the same fate. There will be steep costs to fix a water supplies infrastructure in Flint that has been damaged sufficiently, perhaps beyond repair. In Snyder's letter to the president, he estimated that the cost of fixing the Flint's water supply would be around $800 million. A few weeks later, President Obama announced that $80 million in new funding would be sent to help Michigan improve the damage the contaminated water caused. A few days later, the U.S. Senators from Michigan, Republican Dan Kildee, Debbie Stabenow, and Gary Peters, announced that they proposed a legislation that can provide up to $400 million in federal funding in order to improve the issues in Flint, along with another $200 million to help any health issues for the children and adults that were exposed to the lead. However, there's no guarantee that Congress will approve of these transactions. Senator John Cornyn of Texas states that Flint's issue is primarily a local and state responsibility. Snyder, however, states that not approving these requests would be irresponsible. Snyder also states that this crisis has been a hidden problem that we've ignored not just in Flint, not just in Michigan, but nationally far too long. Let's do something about it. Well, it's not a national problem, it's still a problem for the state of Michigan and the town of Flint. Well, Flint has been surviving off of bottles of water. Eventually, they will have to look for other sources. Eventually, this could possibly lead to residents leaving to other places throughout Michigan, creating a possible overpopulation in some other cities, possibly leading to another crisis, and some could even lead to death. While Flint did create this crisis, it would be irresponsible not to help the greater good to come out of it, and I really do think that the government should provide these funds because it's a crisis that's been ignored and it should be fixed.